Thanks a lot, mate. I really appreciate you giving some of your time. And yeah, let's get straight to it. So about a few weeks ago, another win against, I can't pronounce this guy's name, Jaffius 4, something like that. But another win, now 6-0. And yeah, how are you feeling? How do you reflect on your performance?
Yes, mate, another win. That was the main thing. Performance, I wasn't overly happy with it. Especially not on the night. I came away sort of beating myself up a little bit frustrated, a little bit upset. I mean, it was a close fight, and credit to Fouad. He gave me a good fight, a good learning fight. But I just know I could have performed better, and I could have done a lot more. And then obviously I've watched it back a few times since then, and it's not as bad as I thought. I performed better than what I thought on the night. And yeah, and I probably shouldn't have been so harsh on myself, but it was still probably probably my worst performance so far out of the six. I wouldn't say it's a worst performance sounds very negative. It wasn't an awful performance. It was still a good performance. It just wasn't the best. You know what I mean? And I'm like my own critic in a way. I want to be sort of like just getting better with each fight, and putting on a little bit more each time. And but that last fight, I didn't feel like I did that. So I was frustrated with myself. But this is the thing, and this is what I've gone away and I've reflected from it with my team, and the fact that I've had an off night, and still got the win, it sets the bar high, and sort of shows, where I'm at. So now I've spun it around and I've took all the positives away from it. But yeah, like I say, on the night, I wasn't too pleased.
Yeah. How important would you say, because obviously you're still very early in your career, how important do you reckon it is for you to have these kind of tough tests earlier on? Like you've admitted there, maybe it wasn't your best, but do you reckon that's going to probably benefit you in the long run, that you've kind of come through these tests early in your career?
Yeah, massively. It'll play a big impact on my career, and it'll set me in good stead for the future. Because like I said, I just mentioned, it's a really good learning fight. I took, there's so much I've took away from that fight, what I can do, what I can change. And that obviously that's what's going to make me improve. That's how I'll get better. I'd much prefer a fight like that than going in there and getting him out in 10 seconds of the first round, because I don't learn anything from that. So these fights are important, and I'm glad that I'm getting these fights. I'm glad that I'm getting tough opponents in my first few fights, because it's gonna make me into the fighters, that I will be in the future.
Yeah. Was he tougher than you expected? Did you think it would be a bit more straightforward victory, or?
I don't know. I just feel like, because I was going into the fight so confident, and the first few rounds, I was having it my own way, and then he started coming into the fight, fourth round onwards, and I think that's when I started getting frustrated, because I think what the downfall for me was I was focusing too much on the attack and not enough on the defense, and I think fourth rounds onwards I switched off defensively. And like forgot this guy's going to punch me back. Because they had a lot of early success in the fight. I just switched off towards the later rounds. I mean, don't forget as well, it was my first 6-round fight. So I was going into different territory. I've never done 6 rounds before, so that the 5th and 6th round was a bit of a test for me in itself, mentally as well as physically. And then I think then like when I reflect back on the fight, I've realised that I just didn't focus too much on the attack, and I didn't switch on, and then I should have caught a lot more shots. I should have rolled out the way. I should have moved my feet. It's easy saying it now, but I've got to do that when I'm in there. So yeah, it was tougher than I thought, but I think it was more just the fact of it was my first 6-rounder, and I just wasn't fully switched on for that fight compared to other fights.
Yeah. Fair enough. But regardless of that, 6-0 now, and are you still 21 years old? Only 21?
Yeah, 21 years old. Yeah.
Hey, look, you're still 21 years old. Do you feel like, even though maybe that wasn't your best performance, do you still feel like you're building, a bit of momentum now, and you're kind of becoming more seasoned as a professional fighter?
Yeah, definitely. It's like 'cause I'm learning more. Each fight I'm learning, and I am getting better with each fight. Although it wasn't my best performance, I spoke to quite a few people who had come and watched, and they said I performed better than the last fight, and like a couple of them said it was my best performance yet. And it's like whether I've just got very high expectations of myself, I don't know, but the spectators and people who came and watched were happy. So I suppose that that's the main thing. But yeah, 21 years old, I'm still a baby in the sport. And I've got like the next 10, 15 years to sort of crack on and see where I can get to. But I am. It's just more rounds, more learning. And yeah, I will be getting better each fight, regardless of whether it was my best performance or not. I will be getting better each fight, definitely. I'll be learning more.
100%, 100%. So we're still quite early in 2023. What's kind of the plan for the rest of the year, and when can we kind of expect to see you in the ring next?
So obviously now I'm back in my training, ticking over, and I'm still just waiting for the fight date. I think we're looking around May, June time. Probably, if it is June, I reckon it'll be the start of June. And yeah, I've not actually been told anything yet. I'm just waiting. That's just when I can imagine I'll be out next. So there's not an awful lot that I know, but like I say, I'm back in the gym. I'm back learning, back training hard, keeping the weight off, and I'll be ready to go meet weight whenever the date gets thrown to me.
And do you reckon it'll be mainly more 6-rounders, or can you see yourself progressing to 8 rounds by the end of the year? Or reckon...
Yeah, I reckon another 6 rounds will do me good. Keep it on 6 for now. Get a few more of them under my belt, because even at this next, if I do another 6 round the next, I've done it now. You know what I mean? I've experienced them last few rounds, and I know what to expect. So yeah, ideally another 6 rounder, will be good.
Yeah. Alex, I'd also like to ask you a few questions about kind of influencer boxing. I know you read one of my articles. Obviously, last couple of weeks ago we had Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury. I'd like to just hear from you, from a professional boxer, what you kind of think of influencer boxing, and whether it's a good thing for the sport, or if it's kind of tarnishing it a little bit. What's kind of your opinion on it?
I'll be honest, mate. It's not really my cup of tea. I don't particularly like it. But I'd be lying if I said I didn't watch Jake Paul and Tommy Fury, and I think everyone did, didn't they? And it definitely raises the profile of the sport, but it's a question of, is it a good thing or a bad thing? I think, I'll be honest, I think at the moment boxing's on the decline, and a lot of that I reckon is due to all the influence of the YouTubers coming into it. Mm-hmm. Whereas the UFC on the other hand, everyone's mad over that, and that's on everyone's sort of tuning into UFC more than boxing, and I reckon a lot of that could be due to the influences coming into the boxing scene, and being allowed to do it all. Like, I seen something yesterday, the first time I heard of it, tag team boxing.
Yeah, I know.
And a lot that idea of tag team boxing, as soon as someone told me this morning actually about it, and straight away I thought, I'd love to watch it. Like, I've not actually looked it up yet, but I'm going to try and look it up and have a look at it. But it's something you would want to watch, isn't it? But it shouldn't. It should be. I think it should be separate from right. Like professional boxing. It should be maybe a different channel for for them. But listen, boxing's a business at the end of the day. Everyone knows this, and if it's gonna bring in a lot of money to the sport, the promoters such as Eddie Hearn are gonna welcome it, aren't they, with open arms? But I don't think it is particularly good for the sport. I think it's looking. It looks bad on those boxers. Don't forget, we put obviously add everything into the sport.
Yeah.
These YouTubers have a big following, just sort of come in and reap the rewards, really. But listen, like I say, it's a business, and You know, some people enjoy watching it, don't they? But like I say, I think it should be separate to, you know, the actual boxing.
Yeah, that's fair enough. In terms of the actual fight, who do you think Jake Paul deserved to? Sorry, Tommy Fury deserved to win, in your opinion?
Well, yeah. So I was scoring it as I went on, but it was quite hard to score, because it was buffering. What I was watching it on at home, it was buffering quite a lot. But I did try and score it as it went on, and I think I had a point. I think I had like I can't remember the exact points, but it might have been like 94, 93, 95, 94, something like that to Tommy Fury. But like I said, it was buffering a lot, so it was hard to it was hard to score. But yeah, it was a closer fight than a lot of people thought. You know, that Jake Paul isn't actually a bad boxer, and I was telling everyone this before the fight started. He's been in the game now a few years, and he's got the money, you know, to get all the best sparring partners, the best training, best coaches. You know what I mean? So, I knew going into the fight that he wouldn't be a donkey. You know, he would be okay. Tommy Fury on the other hand has been in it his whole life, so I knew like Tommy would get the win, and you can tell just sort of the experience. But everyone, you know, needs to not forget Tommy, similar to myself, is just starting out as well. You know, he's only 23 years old. He's only had he had eight fights under his belt. He's not no world champion just yet, and I think just because he was in such a massive fight, everyone's putting him on the pedestal of his brother, and you know what I mean. And he's nowhere near that level yet. Not to say he won't get there, but he's nowhere near that level. He's just, you know, a novice at the end of the day. And he fought on a massive card. He had loads and loads of pressure on him. So I think, yeah, after, you know, he did well considering. And like I say, it was like the fight itself didn't look great. It wasn't the best fight to watch, but you know, everyone watched it.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, well, Alex Murphy, thank you so much for giving me some of your time. I'm gonna post an article about this, and thanks a lot, and hopefully see you in the ring soon.
Yeah, great. Thanks a lot, pal. I appreciate that.
All right, cheers, Alex. Cheers, mate.